Yes, madam.
Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Dr. R. Priya, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science, Sri Narayanaguru College, Coimbatore, welcomes you all for the webinar on soft computing. I thank our management, principal, and department faculties for rendering their support in organizing such wonderful event. I take immense pleasure in introducing today's chief guest, Dr. T. Velmurugan, Associate Professor in the PG and Research Department of Computer Science and Applications, DG Vaishnava College, Chennai. He has 27 years of teaching experience. Sir has guided 300 MPhil scholars and 17 PhD scholars. He has more than 100 articles indexed in Scopus and SCI. He has shared his knowledge as resource person in various events like conferences, seminars, workshops, and webinars. We are indeed delightful to have such an eminent personality amongst us for this webinar. We welcome you, sir, and over to you, sir, for the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And just wait. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, one and all present here. It's my pleasure to welcome you all for this webinar on soft computing, which is organized by Sri Narayanaguru College, Coimbatore. First, I would like to thank the organizers of this webinar, the Department of Computer Science, Sri Narayanaguru College, Coimbatore, especially the HOD Madam, Dr. R. Priya, and Professor Mr. Karthik, and those who are involved in this process. Thank you very much for calling me to share my views about soft computing in front of say some kind of people, so those who are involved, available online. Thank you very much, ma'am. First, we would like to discuss about what is soft computing and what is hard computing. What are the different computing technologies are available nowadays? What are the different technologies based on the computing concept is available nowadays? And what is little bit about the genetic algorithms, fuzzy sets and systems, evaluationary computing. Finally, we discuss something about the applications of soft computing. We discuss finally the conclusion or summary of the session. Now, first we understand what are the different types of computing technologies nowadays available. Soft computing, hard computing, cloud computing, parallel computing, grid computing, distributed computing, and nano computing, the CRISP computing, which is also called same as hard computing. Partly hard computing, partly soft computing is called as CRISP computing. So apart from this, some kind of computing technologies are discussed in this session. Okay. Now, first we define what is soft computing and what is hard computing. Soft and hard computing are computing methods, where hard computing is the conventional methodology which relies on the principles of accuracy, certainty, and inflexibility. Hard computing is 100% based on some accuracy oriented, accurate result oriented processing technology. So which have some certain results, which gives some certain results, exact result. In inflexibility, without inflexibility, the flexible manner, the 100% accepted results, 100% accepted mathematical models, the hard computing technology uses. Conversely, the soft computing is a modern approach which promised on the idea of approximation, uncertainty, and flexibility. What is approximation and what is uncertainty and flexibility? Okay, soft computing is a method in which we can get results based on a particular processing oriented approach, in which we can get the approximate results, not accurate results. But in hard computing, we can able to get accurate results, not the approximate results. Certainty means 100% perfectly we can get the results. in hard computing, but in the soft computing, not 100%, somewhat it is 50, more than 50% or 70% or 90% and go like that. Nowadays, it is not possible to find out how many peoples may come and attend in this session. It is not possible to find out. This is uncertainty, one of the example. Is it possible to find out tomorrow's weather by means of some technology? Is not exactly not possible. Exactly finding the tomorrow's weather is not possible. That is also called as uncertainty. So flexibility manner. So but inflexible means, what is the difference between inflexibility and flexibility? Inflexibility means we can use exact method, exact model, mathematical model. Yeah. Okay, which the methods which are not flexible, which are not compromised with other any kind of observations, any kind of processing technology. Suppose if any missing values are available, the modern technology, the conventional method will never accept it. But if suppose is there any missing values, suppose is there any other kind of invalid informations are available, this soft computing methodology adopt all these things and process in a particular manner, which gives some approximate result based on the uncertainty. Nowadays, the base uncertainty is mostly used in fuzzy sets and fuzzy systems. Fuzzy concept is the number one example for the uncertainty. Okay. Now, what is hard computing? Hard computing is based on the binary logic mostly. Hard computing is based on the mostly binary logic, binary number system oriented information. How the binary number system is actually processed by means of chromosomes and other kind of informations, by means of the logic operations, by means of some octal number oriented, hexadecimal number oriented, octal number oriented, binary number oriented, and other kind of numbering systems are available. So which uses exactly the binary logic, binary number oriented systems in hard computing. But in the soft computing, it is not necessary. Some object oriented informations are exactly processed by means of this soft computing. But in numerical analysis, the hard computing is very short. For the analysis of the numerical methods, numerical calculations, numerical, that is mathematical oriented results. In order to get the mathematical oriented results, the hard computing is very famous. But sometimes the crisp softwares, we must require the crisp software, 100% perfect software, C language, basic Fortran, Pascal, C. These are all some crisp softwares. We have to write programs in order to get a result based on a particular environment, based on a particular problem. For a particular problem, we can write programs. We can write source code in hard computing. But sometimes it is not necessary to write source code in soft computing. This is the main difference between the soft computing and the hard computing. Okay. Now, what is hard computing? Before discussion about the soft computing, there is a traditional approach used in computing which needs an accurately stated analytical models, analytical methods. The accurately stated, if you want to state accurately, the hard computing uses only the analytical models. So hard computing is suitable for mathematical problems, although it might be used to solve real-world problems. So the real-world problems are mostly used to solve by means of writing source code in hard computing. It consumes, if you want to write a source code, means it consumes a large amount of computation time and the cost effect also very high. Okay, so the computational time is very high and the cost of the equipments and the cost of the other kind of stuff, that is, suppose if you want to utilize the hardware technology, everything is very high in hard computing, but in soft computing it is not necessary. Nowadays we have utilized the cloud era, cloud concepts. Cloud computings are almost done by everywhere. We can sit in front of your system, we can easily solve some problems which are available in the cloud. So one of the very famous example. Therefore, what is the applications of hard computing, which are mobile robot coordination and forecasting combinational problems? These are some examples of hard computing. So suppose if you want to activate a robot, then each and every step must be defined by yourself. Without the predefined steps, in order to activate a robot, it is not possible without the predefined steps. Therefore, We require 100% perfect programs in order to use the hard computing. Now, if you want to solve some deterministic problems, there are various kinds of problems are available. Deterministic problems and non-deterministic problems are available. Okay, also non-deterministic polynomial time hard problem, polynomial time hard problem, polynomial time problem, deterministic time problems. NP hard problem, NP complete problems are available. So there are various kinds of problems are available. First, I would like to inform you, this is the highest level of the computing technology. Now we want to discuss it. In this soft computing method, there are various highest level of discussion about the computing technologies discussed. Okay, now in this session, suppose some people are doing in their UG course is not easy to understand. Somewhat it is difficult. So you can assume, so you can gain knowledge from this session. Okay, how the recent era of computing technology, how the recent methodologies are adopted in order to process the informations now which is available in the cloud and which is available in the net and other kind of World Wide Web and other kind of storage mediums and the data warehouses informations, including the big data analytics. Okay, therefore we can use a hard computing approach for the deterministic problems. But for the non-deterministic problems, we can use the soft computing approach. What is deterministic problems? We can have a limitation of using so and so software. So software is having a limitation, hardware having a limitation, the data having a limitation, the method having a limitation. This is called as deterministic problems. Okay, but there is no limitation. There is no finite minimum number of data, maximum number of data are available, which is called as actually done by using the soft computing. So in case of soft computing is a better alternative as compared to hard computing, because why the soft computing is better in compared with the hard computing means nowadays we face lot of information, huge volumes of information. In order to process all these huge volumes of information, the hard computing technology is not suit, is not possible, is not easy, is not flexible. So we require another alternate technology that is called as a soft computing. So using the soft computing technology, we can evaluate any kind of data. We can evaluate any kind of data, object-oriented data. Non-deterministic problems. Non-deterministic problems are nowadays available many problems in the real world applications. Okay, so large volumes of data are not easy to access by means of hard computing. Large volumes of data are easy to access by using the soft computing. Now we are coming into the part of definition about soft computing. What is soft computing? It is a branch of computer science that seeks to imitate human intelligence, learning and decision making by the employment of various methods. When we create a method in order to learn something about what is today's scenario, we must use our intelligence. We must use our human intelligence. How we can utilize effectively the human intelligence in order to incorporate with the system is called as one of the method is called as soft computing. We can learn something by means of various decision making process. There are various data are available in the field. There are now a number of data are available in the mobile. The number of data are available in the Facebook. The number of data are available in the Twitter and other kind of various database repositories. How all this data are useful to the real world applications, to the real world peoples, to the real world humans. All these things are processed by means of some decision making process. For the decision making process, you must learn first what is available inside the data, what is available inside the data warehouse, what is available, what is not available, how we can able to process, how we can effectively utilize the data which are available in the cloud, in the net, in the data warehouse, in the data mart, in the big data, in the DB, that is in various kinds of database tech methods. So soft computing methods are used for analyzing purpose of this, the various kinds of data. So what are the methods are available? Fuzzy logic, rough sets theory, artificial neural networks, various evaluationary algorithms, EEA, evaluationary algorithms, and search strategies are used. These are some very famous methods in soft computing. So soft computing is an emerging approach to computing that gives the remarkable ability of the human mind to argue and learn in the atmosphere of uncertainty and dissent. That is, some kind of uncertainty of informations are processed effectively by using this soft computing technology that I already informed you. Okay, there are various emerging approaches are available in order to process the various uncertain informations. Is it possible to predict the population of India in 2030? Now it's not possible, only the approximate result. So now how we can able to determine, assume the population of India in 2030? It is an uncertain method. It is a probabilistic answer. So the probabilistic answer must be able to get by using the soft computing technology. Okay, so it is not a single methodology which have some various methods, which have some various technologies. It is a consortium of computing methodologies. It is a combination of computing methodologies. Not only a single method is used to analyze all the data which are available in front of you. So you must use at least one single method or a combination of some other methods in order to extract the probabilistic answer about a traveling salesman problem which are available in the net. We must require some other kind of genetic algorithms, genetic computing methodologies are required to solve the traveling salesman problem. Nowadays, we 100% the genetic algorithm method, genetic computing are utilized. So there are various methods, there are various principles are available in order to process the soft computing methodology. So they are fuzzy logic, neurocomputing, genetic computing, probabilistic computing, and with the last subsumming evidential reasoning is what? Belief network, Bayesian network, neural network, joystick systems, and part of machine learning theory. Nowadays, most of the machine learning theory are carried out by means of using this soft computing technology. Now, what is in contrast to traditional hard computing? Soft computing is tolerant of impression, uncertainty, and partial truth. Already I informed. Not the 100% accurate results or true results are obtained by means of this soft computing. Only some partial results, partial evaluating results are obtained by means of this soft computing. Therefore, the guiding principle of soft computing is what? Exploit the tolerance for imprecision, uncertainty, and partial truth to achieve manageability, robustness, low solution cost, and better relationship with the reality. So robustness means an algorithm is said to be robust algorithm. A method is said to be robust method, means which will carry out all kind of data. Whether the missing value are available, some irrelevant value are available, inconsistent data are available. A method which is perfectly processed all kind of data, then the algorithm, the method is called as robustness. So all the informations are managed by means of a special technology. This is the soft computing technology. Therefore, soft computing is basically optimization technique. Most of the techniques which are utilized in the soft computing method is optimization technique, which adopt the optimization technique. So the optimization techniques are used for what purpose? Means to find the solution of a real world problems. The operation research methods are studied by many pupils in UG as well as PG level. So all the operation research problems, optimization problems, are optimization techniques. Using optimization technique, some kind of real world problems are solved by in the topic operations research. So optimization techniques are very essential method which are used to find the solution of problems which are very hard to answer. It's not easy to easily get the answer for optimization problems. So very tough to get the result, particular result in a that is optimization problems. Okay, now we discuss about the difference between the soft computing and the hard computing. Okay, now the hard computing and the soft computing. The hard computing have real-time constraints. Only the hard computing uses real-time constraints. In soft computing, they uses artificial constraints, some abstracts, that is abstract-oriented information. So artificial, that is simulated, duplicate. Simulated means manually you are created. You must create some artificial constraints. You can create assumed informations or assumed hypothesis is called as artificial constraints. Assume so and so this is, and so a chair. Suppose if you consider a chair as an object, a chair must have a four leg. Sometimes one people may sit in a chair, sometimes two people may sit in a chair. Like you can assume some constraints, that is artificial constraints. Okay. In hard computing, which needs of accuracy and precision, 100% precisely, accurately the results are obtained. Need of robustness rather than accuracy. Robustness is very, very important. Some kind of nearest results are obtained by means of this soft computing technology. So hard computing requires programs to be written. We already are informed. We must write programs in hard computing. It is not necessary to you write programs in soft computing. It requires its own programs. Some kind of packages are available in the soft computing technology. For example, in order to process the big data, in the big data software is mostly processed by means of using the Hadoop oriented environment. Hadoop is one of the number one software which perfectly utilized for the analysis of the big data. The Hadoop, we will utilize some facilities which is available in the Hadoop in order to process the data. It is not necessary to write the exact source code in Hadoop and other kind of big data analytics tools if you use. Therefore, no need of writing programs in soft computing. It is necessary to write a program in hard computing. The hard computing follows two-valued logic. Only 0 and 1 are accepted in hard computing. But in soft computing, multi-valued logic, so now object-oriented informations are accepted. So hard computing requires exact input data, but soft computing does not require exact input data, which accepts inexact, approximate result, approximate input data. So hard computing is strictly sequential in computation. First in, first out method, the hard computing process. But parallel computing technology is mostly, parallel computing is another one kind of computing technology. Parallelly, the informations are processed this by means of this soft computing. The hard computing produces precise answers, perfect answers, but the soft computing does not produce the 100% perfect results, answers, which produce approximate answers only. Hard computing is deterministic, soft computing is non-deterministic, as I already informed you. Okay. Now, what are the various applications of soft computing? Nowadays, you are all known very well the computer appliances like AC. Some kind of AC nowadays are censored AC are automatically switch off whenever the room temperature is very low, converted into low. Automatically, the AC will switch off. So automatically the AC will get off. So this is the one of the example of soft computing. Refrigerator, that is in the fridge we have some kind of information. Whenever the humidity gets very low, then automatically the refrigerator converts switched off itself in order to reduce the heat. So heaters, the iron box is one of the very famous example for this soft computing. Automatic iron box are automatically, whenever the heat is increased, automatically they switch off. So washing machines are automatic washing machines are 100% run on the basis of the soft computing nowadays. Therefore, there are a lot of applications nowadays used the soft computing technologies. Robotic works in the form of emotional pet robots. There are various emotional pet robots. You are all seeing the film also, the film also, how a robot act based on the instruction. The emotional pet robots are perfectly carried out. So everything should be programmed. Now, food preparation devices are micro oven and rice cookers. These are all act by using the soft computing technology. Assuming gaming playing product like checker and poker. Checker and pokers are used for what purpose means by using this kind of technology. Recognition of handwriting recognition, image recognition, data compression techniques, image compression techniques. These are all very famous examples and applications of soft computing. System to decision support. So based on the decision, based on the environment, some kind of agent-oriented informations are extracted by taken decision by means of this decision support-oriented systems. This is one of the very famous example for the soft computing. Another name of the soft computing is computational intelligence. We are all known very well. Computational intelligence usually refers to the ability of a computer to learn a specific task from data or from an experimental observation based on the availability, based on the environment, based on the observed environment, based on the availability of the data. A computer can perform, get result based on the environment-based information processing. The computer can take decisions. That kind of information processing is called as soft computing or computational intelligence. How a computer intelligently acts based on a data. How a computer get experimental results perfectly or not perfectly. So by means of some technology that is called as computational intelligence. Even though it is commonly considered a synonym for the soft computing and the computational intelligence. Soft computing and the computational intelligence are very well simultaneously used. There is still no commonly accepted definition for computational intelligence. Also, there is no definition for precise definition for the soft computing. There is no specific definition what is soft computing, what is computational intelligence. Okay, so the definition of computational intelligence or soft computing is the theory, design, application, and development of biologically and linguistically motivated computational paradigms. So we have to form a theory, we have to design a method, we can apply some methodologies in order to solve a problem which belongs to the biologically inspired information. Biologically and linguistically. Biologically inspired information means how our body temperature nowadays. Using the thermometer, we will find out the body temperature, which is biologically inspired information instruments. So linguistically means how the handwritten informations are recognized, how the characters are recognized by means of some special kind of methods. So these are called as a definition of the soft computing and computational intelligence. Therefore, CA is the theory, design, and application of development of biologically motivated computational paradigms. So which comprises practical adoption and self-organization concepts, paradigms, algorithms, implementation that enable facilitate appropriate actions based on the intelligent behavior, based on some intelligent behavior of a particular system-oriented methodology. This kind of equipments are processed. Okay. Now, everything is the soft computing or computational intelligence are grown from our brain. If you have a brain, then your intelligence must be accepted throughout the world. If you have a 100% soft brain, intellectual brain, then it should be accepted throughout the world. This is the main point of discussion about the soft computing. Now we are coming into the various types of soft computing. There are three pillars of the soft computing. Exactly three pillars: neural networks, fuzzy sets and systems, evolutionary computation. Neural networks, many people are known very well about the neural networks. Some people are known fuzzy systems, and many people are not known evolutionary computing. Many people are not known evolutionary computing. So these three are the very famous pillars of the soft computing. Okay. Apart from these three pillars, what are the other methods of soft computing? Swarm intelligence, understanding natural language, generation of natural language or natural language processing is the other kind of soft computing technology. Learning theory, probabilistic methods, artificial immune system, support vector machines, rough sets, chaotic systems, genetic algorithms. These are some areas, emerging areas of the soft computing. So these emerging areas are nowadays utilized for the research purposes alone. Most of the peoples are utilized all these emerging areas for their researches. So some little kind of high-level concept of the computing technology is carried out by means of this soft computing technology and the computational intelligence methods. Okay, what is the branches of the soft computing? Mostly the three pillars is neural network, fuzzy sets, and evolutionary computing. Fuzzy computing, neural network computing, and evolutionary computing. Apart from this, swarm intelligence, particle swarm intelligence. This also includes particle swarm intelligence, anti-colony optimization, and some kind of Fefli algorithms. Fefli algorithms. These are not known by you. If anyone goes in front, all the peoples are goes in front. If anyone goes in back, then all the peoples are goes back. This is the method of Fefli algorithm. So there are various kinds of methods, and the additional techniques are available. Wisdom system, choice theory, belief theory, and in evolutionary computing, genetic algorithm, differential evaluations, evolutionary algorithms, and in neural network, you have many ideas about the neural networks, ANN and back propagation neural network, feed forward neural network. Everything is discussed under the topic of neural network methods. In fuzzy computing, fuzzy sets, fuzzy logic, fuzzy theory. These are the very famous technology nowadays utilized in soft computing. So the mostly utilized soft computing technologies are nowadays neural network concepts are utilized in medical diagnostic systems. Fuzzy concept and fuzzy sets are utilized in the meteorological department, finding the weather, forecasting, and everything. Evolutionary computings are used for the traveling salesman, solve the traveling salesman problem and traveling methodology and radar control and satellite control, everything. Then swarm intelligence are utilized for the purpose of the particle swarm optimization. Suppose ant, if you consider erumbu, that is ant. If one ant goes straight, all the ants must follow their route. So this is particle swarm optimization, swarm intelligence. How they find out their route based on some intelligence methods, based on some kind of methodology which are adapted inside the neurons of the ant. That is ant colony optimization and the particle swarm optimization. The additional techniques are utilized wisdom system, choice theory, and belief theory. These are all the methods of the soft computing. Now we discuss little bit about fuzzy concept. What is called as fuzzy concept? We discuss a little bit about the fuzzy concept. What is fuzzy concept? It is a concept of which the boundaries of application can vary considerably according to context or conditions instead of being fixed once and for all. You don't think understanding of this fuzzy concept is not tough. Uncertainty is called as fuzzy concept. We cannot predict particularly precisely 100% result in fuzzy concept. So sometimes uncertainty, that is, some may be available, may not be available. Sometimes we can get results, sometimes many times we cannot get results. Many times we can get results, sometimes we cannot get results. This is the concept of the fuzzy. So this means the concept is vague in some way. In some way it is very tough to implement. Lacking a fixed, the fixed methods are not have in the fuzzy concept. Precise meaning without, however, being unclear or meaningless altogether. So there is no precise meaning available. So without the precise meaning, some concept of uncertainty-oriented fuzzy informations are evaluated. The study of the characteristics of fuzzy concepts and the fuzzy language is called fuzzy semantics. Okay, fuzzy semantics is the number one research topic nowadays utilized in order to analyze the various kinds of data nowadays. Okay, therefore the inverse of the fuzzy concept is a crisp concept. Crisp concept means hard computing. Soft computing is fuzzy concept. Hard computing is crisp concept. Okay. Then what is called as fuzzy logic? Fuzzy logic is a form of multi-valued logic. Multi-valued logic, in which the truth values of variables may be any real number between 0 and 1, both inclusive. 0 and 1 are inclusive. Both 0 and 1 are inclusive. So it is employed to handle the concept of partial truth. It's not a 100% true. Partial truth, partially, approximately true, where the truth value may range between completely true and completely false. The completely false means which gets 0. Completely true means which gets 1. So this is the main concept, main logic utilized in the fuzzy logic. It is called as fuzzy logic. The fuzzy logic is mostly called as Boolean logic. The Boolean logic will give exact result. Now, the fuzzy logic is not mostly called as fuzzy logic. The fuzzy logic is entirely different from Boolean logic because the Boolean logic gets 100% result, either true or false. The either true or false example for the either true or false is electricity. If you switch on, 100% light will burn. If the switch off, 100% light will switch off. That is on burn. This is the information. So electricity is the number one example for the Boolean logic. But in the fuzzy logic, the not electricity, moonlight and sunlight, sunlight and moonlight, whenever they are growing, whenever they are going down, we can able to identify. This is the main concept of the fuzzy logic. So this is the very simple temperature. In the middle of every day, we can get a high temperature. The morning and evening, we will get the low temperature. So based on the cold, warm and hot, some temperature oriented informations are carried out by means of this fuzzy logic. Nowadays in the metabological department, most of the fuzzy logic informations are extracted. Okay, what is called as fuzzy control systems? Just a minute. What is called as a fuzzy control systems? Just a minute. The fuzzy control system is a control system based on fuzzy logic. Based on the fuzzy logic, approximate reasoning, approximate results, the fuzzy control system activated, that is processed. It's a mathematical system that analyzes analog input values in terms of the logical variables that take on continuous values between 0 and 1. Is it possible to find out how many numbers are available between 0 and 1? It is infinite. Between 0 and 1, infinite number of values are available. So how we can able to predict all these values? It is not easy. It is the toughest job. So using this in between 0 and 1, what are the continuous values are available? 0.1, 0.2. In 0.1, in between 0.1 and 0.2, is it possible to find out how many values? It is not possible because infinite number of values are available. But this kind of informations are actually called as continuous values, not discrete values. Discrete values means deterministic informations are called as discrete values. Non-deterministic informations are called as continuous values. Therefore, a fuzzy logic is widely used in machine control. In order to control a machine, that is, in order to control a robotics, we can suppose sometimes a robotic will run away in a platform. When it should stop, there is a that is disturbance carried out by observed by means of the robotic, then it should stop walking. So this is the method of fuzzy logic. So the fact that the logic involved can deal with the concepts that cannot be expressed as the truth or false, but rather as partially true. This is the fuzzy control systems. Okay. So now we will see the definition. That is one of the example for the fuzzy. Rule 1: if X is in A, then N is in B. If X is in B, if Y is in B, then some value N in A. Then if Z is in C, if Z is in C, then some value in F. All these three are combined into this by using the CRISP concept. So defalsification. This is defalsification. That is, defalsification is called as what? CRISP concept. This part is available here. Then in this part, some kind of information, this part alone cut from the first one. Then the remaining part is available here. How? Here in this part, some kind of informations are not available. So this kind of information is not available in this. So this is the CRISP concept. We can be able to find out such kind of information by means of this fuzzy control systems. Then what is the structure of a fuzzy system? What is the structure of a fuzzy system? Now, the structure of a fuzzy system based on the approximate reasoning. The approximate reasoning, why the fuzzy reasoning is called as approximate reasoning? Only we can be able to get the approximate result, not accurate results. Okay, based on the knowledge based. Knowledge based means the information availability. Whatever the information stored in a particular environment, that is based on their environment, based on their knowledge, based on the adapted information, based on the that is stored informations, they will get the approximate result. This is the main point. Therefore, we can use either numerical inputs. The numerical inputs are called as a falsifier. There is a special system falsifier using this falsifier, and the fuzzy inputs are combined with the fuzzy inputs. Some kind of approximate results are produces as results. The results which produces by means of this fuzzy oriented system are defalsifier system. Numeric output, getting the numeric input using the falsifier and the fuzzy input converted into fuzzy inputs, and the approximate using the approximate reasoning, you will get able to get numeric output, and it is called as a fuzzy output. Very simple. Now the fuzzy control in detail. Now we want to discuss. Now what is the fuzzy controls in detail? It is a trial and error method. You have to give a input to one kind of programs. Suppose if your expected results are not come from the execution of your program, then you have to change the input. This is the trial and error method. Most of the approaches used in fuzzy control system, fuzzy method, is trial and error method. Therefore, the general process is as follows. Document the system's operational specification and inputs and outputs. The inputs and outputs are must defined by yourself. So document the fuzzy sets for the inputs. Document the rule set. You must give the define the rules. So determine the defalsification method. You must also use the defalsification methods. You can run through the test suite to validate the system. Adjust the detail as required. Based on the requirements of your system, you have to adjust the results. You have to adjust the system. You have to adjust your technological as well as non-technological aspects. So therefore, complete your document and release the production of the output of the fuzzy control system. This is the simple in which the simple fuzzy systems are carried out. Now we are coming into the part of discussion about the artificial neural network. Already many of you are known very well what is artificial neural network or connectionist systems. Connectionist systems or artificial neural networks are same, which are computing systems vaguely inspired by the biological neural networks and constitute animal brains based on the like on animal brains. Animal brains means human brains. We are also animals. The humans are also animals. Based on the animal brains, the informations are processed. The biological neurons are extracted. Even pin in the point of a pin in your body, how many neurons are available? Is it possible to find out the number of neurons available in a particular point of pin oriented information in your body? So definitely it's not possible, because lakhs and lakhs of neurons are available in a pinpoint of your body. Okay, so in a human body, crores and crores, not crores and crores, millions crores, the 10 power 8 million neurons are available. 10 power 8 million neurons are available. In order to extract, in order to process, in order to define all the neurons which are available in a human body, is it possible? Is not possible. So this is the very well that is a very well number one example for the artificial neural network. The neurons available in a human body is not easy to analyze. So this is the analysis of the artificial neural network. Therefore, ANN is based on a collection of connected units or nodes called artificial neurons, based on some kind of artificial neurons, which loosely model the neurons in a biological brain. Based in the loose, tightly model, there are various kinds of technologies are available. Coupling methods are available. Loose coupling methods are used in order to analyze the artificial neurons. But you have many idea about the neurons are available. The input neurons are available. The hidden neurons are extracted. The output neurons are produced as results. So ANN is an interconnected group of nodes inspired by a simplification of neurons in a brain. So very simple. How we can able to calculate the value of a neuron, number of neurons is not easy task. So partially it is possible. That's why this ANN is one of the very famous method used in soft computing technology. Now next we discuss about the evaluationary computing. What is evaluationary computing? Evaluationary computing means we can evaluate certain informations. We can evaluate certain informations. So evaluationary computing is a family of algorithms, which have some family of algorithms, which gives global optimization result, which are inspired by the biological evaluation and the subfield of artificial intelligence and soft computing studying these algorithms. In artificial intelligence, we can able to get only the approximate result, as already I told you. The artificial intelligence results are approximate results, not the accurate results. So we can find out some kind of partially accepted optimized results. The globally accepted optimized results are able to get for any kind of methods, any kind of algorithms. Then the algorithms are called as evaluationary algorithms or evaluationary. This kind of processing method, computational method, is called as evaluationary computing. In technical terms, they are a family of population-based trial and error problem solvers with a meta-heuristic and stochastic optimization problems. Suppose if you want to talk about meta-heuristic and stochastic optimization characteristics, meta-heuristic and stochastic problems, I will able to talk many things. What are the stochastic processes are available? Meta-heuristic approaches are available. How many heuristic approaches are available? Many things we will talk about more than a day. So, what purpose these informations, these methodologies are utilized? So, in order to get the results by means of based on the trial and error method of solving problems, you have to give a result. You have to give an input. If the give input does not give a result, then you can change the input. Then you can get some other input, some other results. This kind of information extraction is called as what? The evaluationary computing. You have to evaluate the algorithmic approach. You have to evaluate your method. You have to evaluate your data. You have to evaluate your technique. So evaluationary computing techniques mostly involved meta-heuristic optimization algorithms. Meta-heuristic optimization algorithms are got results not perfectly, only partly. Okay. What are the evaluationary computing techniques are available? These are the techniques. Is it possible to discuss all these techniques in this session? Definitely not possible. Ant-colony optimization, immune systems, artificial life, cultural algorithms, differential evaluation, dual phase, grammatical evaluation, genetic programming, genetic algorithm, neuro evaluation, particle swarm optimization, farm intelligence, evaluation strategy. All these kinds of techniques are evaluation computing, evaluationary algorithmic oriented computational technology. Discussion of all these things are not possible, but we will discuss some kind of methods. So evaluationary algorithms, EA. In artificial intelligence, EI, an evaluationary algorithm is a subset of evaluationary computing and a generic population-based meta-heuristic optimization algorithm. So EA is a evaluationary computational technique, also a generic population-based meta-heuristic optimization algorithm. Meta-heuristic means we can be able to use rule of thumb method, heuristic approach. Heuristic approach means how we can be able to find out humidity. Today the humidity is not possible to exactly precisely defined. So humidity is not possible to find out nowadays. Very exactly, only approximate results. So EA uses mechanisms inspired by biological evaluation such as reproduction and mutation, recombination and selection methods. Mutation and recombination and selection methods are very effectively utilized by means of this evaluationary approaches. So candidate solutions to the optimization problem play the role of individuals in a population, and the fitness function determines the quality of the solution. So what is this kind of population and fitness functions determines? So I think these concepts are very it's not easy to understand perfectly, because all these softwares are recent approaches, very tough topic. Optimization problems gives only approximate result, I already informed. Okay, based on the population in genetic algorithm we can discuss about what is population, what is chromosomes, what is genes, everything. Okay, now types of EA algorithm, genetic programming, evaluationary programming, these are some types of algorithm. Genetic algorithm is one of the very famous popular type of evaluationary algorithm, which have two operations, crossover and mutation. How this crossover and mutation? Crossover means recombination, mutation means changing, mutate, change, sometimes one, sometimes both. Mutate, you can mutate, change the informations. This is the very famous methodology nowadays used, the genetic algorithms. Genetic programming is the use of how to effectively write programs by using the genetic algorithmic approach is called as genetic programming. Okay, so what is evaluationary programming? Similar to genetic programming, but the structure of the program is fixed. But in the EA genetic algorithm, there is no structure, but the structure of the program is fixed, and it is numerical parameters are allowed in the evaluationary programming. This is the very famous methods. Now we discuss about the very famous research-oriented topic. Not only the research-oriented topic, in various universities, genetic algorithm is available in one subject of the PG studies. So computer science and OR, operation research, GA, is a methodology, meta-heuristic inspired by the process of neural selection now, and belongs to the larger class of evaluationary algorithms. It is a meta-heuristic approach which uses some different kind of methods. So GA are commonly used to generate high-quality solutions to optimize and search problems by relying on biologically inspired operations, some such as mutation, crossover, and selection. So mutation and crossover are the very famous technology or operators which is exactly used in genetic algorithm. What is crossover and what is mutation, we will discuss here. Now crossover means we can change it. This is A, this is B. We can give you a part. This part is replaced. This part is replaced in this place. This part is replaced in this place. So combining this crossover, that is changing. Crossover, that is changing. Interchanging. This is called as what? This is parent and this is child. What is genetic algorithm? Genetic means in zoology we have chromosomes and genes. In computer science, which one is called as genes? 0 and 1 are called as genes, bits. And the combination of 0 and 1 are called as chromosomes. Combination of chromosomes are called as some kind of representation oriented approaches. That is exactly carried out in genetic algorithms. Okay, now what is called as crossover points? Here we can have 3 points, 3 mutation. First part as it is, second part you can change, and third part you can also change. This is another one point of crossover. 2-point crossover, and this is single point crossover. So there are various categories are available. Then what is called as mutation? Changing. In the place of 1 you can substitute 0. In the place of 0 you can substitute 1. That's all. In the place of 0, you can substitute 1. In the place of 1, you can substitute 0. So that is called as mutation. Changing, that is interchanging. Okay, so mutation is a genetic operator used to maintain genetic diversity from one generation of population of genetic algorithm chromosomes to next. So this is in the place of 0, in the next generation, 1 is substituted. All other information, all other genes are taken as it is. Okay, this is one of the very famous method, a very famous operation which is used in genetic algorithms. Okay, what are the types of EA algorithm? Other EA algorithm: gene expression programming, evaluation strategy, differential evaluation, gene expression programming, evaluation strategy, and differential evaluation. These are other types of evaluationary algorithm. What is gene expression programming? Like genetic programming, GEP also evaluates computer programs, but it explores a genotype, phenotype system, genotype and phenotype system, or the nanotype systems. Yeah, apart from the nanotype, nanotechnology, we have genophytes, phonophytes, petaphytes. These are all known by you very well. So based on the in-depth analysis, based on the chromosomes, based on the availability of the chromosomes, the in-depth analysis is carried out by means of this gene expression. RNA analysis and DNA analysis, one of the part of the gene expression programming. RNA analysis and DNA analysis are the part of the gene expression programming. Okay, evaluation strategy, how the evaluation strategy is carried out, which work with vectors of real numbers as representations of solutions. So real numbers are used in order to represent, to produce the results, and typically which uses self-adaptive mutation rates. Okay, now self-adaptive mutation rates are utilized in evaluationary strategy. Okay, then what is differential evaluation, which is based on vector differences and is therefore primarily suited for numerical optimization problems. So for the numerical optimization problems, the differential evaluations, different kinds of optimized results we can able to get. For one kind of transportation problem, we will get one result by using one method. By use another method, we can get another one result. This is the differential evaluation. Then what is called as neuro evaluation, learning classifier system, reinforcement evaluation, supervised learning approach, non-supervised learning approach. These are all other kinds of EE algorithms. So neuro evaluation is similar to GP, that is genetic programming, but the genomes represent artificial neural networks by describing structure and connection weights. So based on some weights, we can assign some weights in each and every neuron which is considered in the neuro evaluation system in the genetic programming concept. So genome encoding can be direct or indirect. Genome encoding concept is available in the neuro evaluation. Then what is called as learning classifier system. Here the solution is a set of classifiers, rules and conditions. Nowadays there are various classifiers are available in order to get the result of a particular real life oriented environmental information. So classification algorithms are the very famous methods, Bayesian classification, ID3 algorithm and C4.53 algorithm and other kind of evaluationary Bayesian tree algorithms. These are some classifier oriented algorithms in which we can classify some kind of information oriented. Therefore, the classifiers were only binary, but now include real neural net and syntax oriented expression types. Fitness is typically determined with either strength or accuracy based in reinforcement. Reinforcement learning is a trial and error method, is called as reinforcement learning. So you can try by using one method. Otherwise, if the method is not suitable for the data, you can use another method. If the data is suitable for the method, you can use another data. So this is the reinforcement learning. Then now we are coming into the part of swarm intelligence. Already I explained it is a collective behavior of a decentralized, self-organized system. That is ant system. Ant colony optimization is number one example for the swarm intelligence. How the intelligence is actually carried out in order to find a route, in order to find a travel route by means of ant. Erumbulla, how the ants are find out their routes. This is the very famous technology. So therefore, SI system consists typically of a population of simple agents and bytes. So the SI system, Swarm intelligence uses agents and bytes. So agents and bytes systems are mostly utilized in the Swarm intelligence concepts. Most of the Swarm intelligence uses biological systems. The biological inspired systems are nowadays utilized robotics and Swarm robotics. So Swarm prediction is the number one point of discussion about the Swarm intelligence. Okay. Now, how an agent must act? An agent is anything that can be viewed as perceiving its environment through sensors and acting upon that environment through actuators. An agent, in this place of agent, you have to assume a robot. A robot can get input, that is perceiving its environment, getting input values based on some environment, then carry out an action based on the environment information by means of their actuators. Their legs and hands are actuators, eyes are actuators. By means of eyes, they get the input. By means of through their leg and hands, they are called as actuators. By means of actuators, they activate the informations. These are the information. What is human agent? In our body, eyes, ears are the what? Environment, perceiving inputs. Other organs for sensors, hands, legs, mouth, and other body parts of actuators. That is, the perceiving inputs, ears, eyes, and other bodies of hands, legs, these are mouth or actuators. Okay, whatever we see, seeing the information is explained by means of your mouth. And if you suppose, is there any information here, you have to walk, go, then it will activate. So automatically, this is the very famous example for a human agent. We are the agent, human agent. Robotic agent, cameras are the organs. Infrared range finders for sensors. Various motors for actuators are available. This is the very famous methods, technology adopted in on agents and the environment. Now, agents and environment. An environment is identified by means of a robot, by means of a agent, by means of a human or robot. In the place of agent, you can assume either human or robot. So an environment is identified. This environment informations are given as input. This agent must take some actuators, actions. Based on the actions, by means of their sensors, which is identified, then actions are produced to the environment. This is the simple example of agents and environments. Okay. Then where there are various Swarm techniques are available in the real world applications. I am not to discuss all these informations, Swarm evaluationary algorithms, only Swarm techniques, power system, fuzzy system, forecasting, biomedicine, sociological analysis, image processing, sound processing, signal processing, data analysis, process modeling. These are some kind of Swarm intelligent techniques, Swarm, and which has a multiple disciplines. So all these are actually Swarm intelligent techniques, Swarm techniques. Okay. Now what are the models of Swarm behavior? So Boyd's, what is called as Boyd's? Boyd's is actually invented Reynolds 1987. Boyd's is an artificial life program which simulates the flocking behavior of birds. How a group of birds are flying. How this group of people are flying in a particular position, in a particular horizontally or vertically or diagrammatically or trigonometrically, anything. How the birds are flying. So based on some flying technology, these informations are actually carried out. These are all called as Boyd's. So Boyd's is an artificial life program which simulates the flagging behavior of birds. The name Boyd corresponds to a shortened version of the bird-eyed object. That is Boyd, bird-eyed object, which refers to a bird-like object. So self-profiled particles is the another kind of model, another swarm behavior model. Self-driven particles, autonomous agents in a company, some kind of robotics are available. They are activated self. Nowadays, the bank informations are self-profiled particles. Bank, suppose if you activate your information in your bank account, automatically the information, standing instruction, if you want to give in your bank account, automatically reduce some amount from my account and go like that. This is self-profiled particles. Some kind of other informations are. Swimming is number one example. Walking is number one example. Flying animals is number one example for the self-driven particles. Then we are coming into the point of meta-heuristic. Mathematical optimization problem is called as meta-heuristic. Already I have given some example for the meta-heuristic. What is meta-heuristic? What is the use of the this meta-heuristic approaches? Everything we discussed. So only the part that is some kind of partial information optimization. Optimized results are produced by means of this heuristic approaches. Heuristic approach means rule of thumb approach. Okay. Then there are various applications of swarm intelligence, ant-based routing, crowd simulation, human swarming, and swarm grammars. How the grammars are converted, how the MS Word identify grammars, Grammarly software, how act. So swarmic actors are available. There are various kinds of Arctic art are available. Arctic art are available. Arctic photos, Arctic simulation based articles are available. These are all some examples of the artificial. Now we are coming into the part of artificial immune system. Already we discussed what is the use of the artificial immunity system, which is concerned with abstracting the structure and the function of immune system to computational systems, which investigate the application of these systems towards solving computational problems of mathematical. The mathematical, engineering, and information technology oriented problems are solved by means of some artificial immunity systems. Automatic systems is called as artificial immune systems. So AIS is a subfield of biologically inspired computing. So neural computation, these are some machine learning belonging to broader field of artificial intelligence. Machine learning also we can utilize this AIS. AIS are a class of computational intelligence. Rule-based machine learning systems are used based on some rule-based information. These things are actually available. We can utilize, have some learning characteristics and memory characteristics in order to solve a problem by using this technology. Now we are coming to the learning theory. What is called as learning theory? In computer science, computational learning theory or just learning theory is a subfield of AI, which is devoted to studying the design and analysis of machine learning algorithms. In order to design the analysis of machine learning algorithms, some kind of technology-oriented subfield of AI is called as computational learning theory or learning theory. Mostly this point involves supervised learning methods. We require some explanation-oriented teacher explanation in order to learn something about your subject. Is the best example for learning theory. Then what is support vector machines? Which support vector machine, SVM machines, are supervised learning methods, in which there are various classification algorithms and regression analysis are carried out. Some kind of fitness functions are utilized in SVM technology. Given a set of training examples, based on the training examples, some testing category is carried out by means of this SVM technology. So SVM technology is the probabilistic, which gives the probabilistic answer. So which is 100% statistical oriented approach, which enable to find out the approximate results of approximate results. Based on the approximate fitness function, the approximate results are produced. Then we discuss about now the rough sets. Rough set is introduced by some people, Spalak, in the seminal paper 1982. So roughly we can identify what is the fundamental theory derived from fundamental research on logical properties of information systems. The rough set theory has been a methodology of data mining or knowledge discovery in relational databases. Roughly we can calculate in abstract form, not perfect form. Uncertainty of mathematical oriented, fuzzy theory oriented concepts are discussed in rough sets. Okay, goals of the rough set theory is the main goal of rough set theory. Rough set analysis is to find out the induction method. Induction methods are first we solve a problem by assuming n equal to 1, and then solve a problem by assuming n equal to 2, and then solve a problem by assuming n equal to 100. Finally, we assume to solve a problem by assuming n equal to n. So this is the rough set theory, for example. Okay, there are various methods are available. Then what is called as stochastic systems, which is complex systems. Using these complex systems, which shows the sensitivity to initial conditions such as economy, the stock market, weather. These are all easy. It's not easy. Easily not predict to find out the stock market range, the values of the stock market nowadays. Every second to second, the stock market informations are changed. Every second to second, the Indian economic and the country economic are changed. So this is the very famous example for the complex systems. In order to maintain all this, in order to find out all this informations by means of ordinary system is not feasible. Therefore, we require a special kind of system that is called as complex systems. Then what are the different applications of CA? Recognition of images, handwritten characters, identifying faces, analysis of signals, multimedia streams, text. Now we are using the multimedia streams. Actually in YouTube you can find out only what audio and video, but the screen is not shared. So in order to share the screen, we have to use the multimedia streaming technology. This is our seminar session is also one of the example of the multimedia streamings. Text and various biological data are exactly different applications of computational intelligence. Now we are coming into the point of conclusion about soft computing. The computational intelligence or soft computing is this a way of performing like human beings. How you are perform, how your characteristics are identified instead of finding the way of behavior by means of some special kind of technology. That technology is actually called as a computational technology, computational intelligence oriented soft computing technology. The characteristics of intelligence is usually attributed to humans. Your characteristics is fixed in your brain itself, attributed in humans. So most recently, many products and items also claim to be intelligent, an attribute which is directly linked to the reasoning and the decision making. Most of the decision making process is carried out by means of utilizing your brain capacity. Your brain oriented capacity alone you can get the decision making, you can get the result. This is one of the very famous example for the your brain is having a soft methodology, your brain having the soft technology, that is soft computing. So now we are coming into the question and answer session. If you have any question and answer, you can ask. Some people they ask. Thank you very much for that is patiently listening my words. Thank you very much. Now we are taken into account for the what is question and answer session. Yes, madam. Karthik. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Sir, many people asked for PPT, sir.
PPT I will share, but normally the PPT will never share to anybody. This is my protocol. Okay, you can suppose if you want, you can see my YouTube live, YouTube stream. You can see all these informations which are available in 365 days. Every day the information is available. You can subscribe my YouTube channel. Suppose if you want to know more and more other informations, you can subscribe my YouTube channel and press a bell button in order to know the other concepts which are available and delivered by me. Everything. Okay. Now, suppose if you want, you can visit my YouTube channel. Very well, these informations are available. Okay. Next.
Okay, sir.
Karthik sir.
Sir,
Yes, you can say the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think we can share a feedback link.
Yeah, you can share. You can share the feedback
Yeah,
link now.
I'll share, sir.
Yeah, you can share the feedback link. No problem.
Yeah, it's shared,
But
sir.
actually, the information discussed in this is very tough to understand. This is the problem. We are not able to easily understand the concept because the modern technology is actually discussed by means of this technical oriented session. Thank you very much. Right,
Good evening, sir.
you can say vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Good evening to all. It's a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a grandful success. First and foremost, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. M. Ilangovan sir, for his support, vision, and commitment. Thank you, sir. Then I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. T. Velmurugan sir, Associate Professor, PG and Research Department of Computer Science and Applications, Advisor and Head, Department of Computer Applications, DJ Vaishnav College, who despite his busy schedule has found time to grace this occasion. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt
Thank
thanks, Dr. R. Priya Ma'am, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Computer Science, for her valuable contribution, guidance, and encouragement in all our efforts. Thank you, ma'am. I thank all our participants for joining with us and ensuring that this occasion become a grandful success. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, we can stop the broadcast. Lada ma'am. Lada ma'am.
Sir, there is a question, sir.
What is the question?
Sir, there is a question, sir.
Tell me.
Hello.
Yes.
How
பண்ணிட்டேன்.
soft computing can help to improve rural education system, sir?
In soft computing, there are various kinds of automated systems are utilized. For example, controlling the IoT devices, utilizing the IoT devices for agriculture product, the soft computing technologies are utilized in rural areas. Okay, next.
Sir,
Is
one
there any
more
other-
question, sir.
Yes.
Sangeeta Priya ma'am, whether soft computing can be used for text classification?
Yes, definitely. 100% soft computing is used for text classification. 100% we can utilize. Then
That's it, sir.
that's it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
So all the participants, I request to once again you can subscribe my channel and you can view all my videos. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Broadcast end பண்ணிடுறேன் லதா.